Well, it's that time, boys and girls. Some of you knew that I was going to do this. Most of you didn't know anything about it. Kept it close to the cuff. Some out there didn't even, like from school and Marine Corps, didn't even know I could talk or have intelligent thoughts. Well, here we go. The first ever episode of the Jesse Rucinski Show. Or shall we call it Jesse Rucinski Show short? Because all the legal paperwork and all that stuff isn't back yet. But, anyway, I wanted to wait. I just couldn't do it anymore. This whole gun debate thing that, the Democrats are once again going after. Because that's the only thing they ever go after. Helping illegals and taking away your guns. Like literally my whole entire life, it seems. They've just been finding different ways to try to go after your guns. Now some things, I do get why they did it. Most of us, sensible people with brains understand why they did it. But there's a lot of people seem to think you should just keep going after them no matter what. No matter how dumb it is, no matter how ludicrous, how much sense it doesn't make. I'm not getting into the taxation part of it. For magazines and certain types of weapons, but these weapons don't count, but this one does because it has this attachment to it. Like, that's all just proving the point that it's not really for anything. My favorite part is all my lefties out there. I do know a few. Don't really talk to many of them because apparently I piss them off. But there's this thing right here. Constitution, Bill of Rights. All those idiots in D.C. Swore to uphold the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and all that stuff. And it's funny, There's again, Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I don't know, it's difficult for them to understand about that. Shall not be infringed seems pretty easy to me. I've had some concussions, got ran over last year. I got blows to the head, and I understand what that means. And no one's ever accused me of being the brightest person on the planet. But for some reason, they just keep finding different ways to twist it because they really just, none of them give a damn about you or your rights. There's one thing that most people, as long as you have like a pulse, some common sense, which is also not a common virtue anymore, sadly, should understand, like the 2020 and all the unconstitutional shutdowns and lockdowns and all these things, none of them have the right or authority to do pretty much any of it. They don't get to pick and choose who gets to, be open for business, how to be open for business, when you can be open for business. They can't mandate you to wear a mask or you to do anything. Unless the state legislature goes and actually passes a bill and makes it a law and says, hey, you need to do this, then they have the authority. They can do that. But, governor saying you're not going to do this, or mayor, and you're going to deal with it, and then they're not following it. They're still traveling, doing whatever they want, screwing with people, throwing how many millions of people in unemployment, and all this other, none of it's constitutional, just like any of these gun things. And they say they do it because they care. But, there's a lot bigger. If they did things because they cared and had anything to do with actual gun violence, why are they only going after certain types? Because those types that they're going after, it's not hard to look up the numbers. That's why man invented Google and Bing. You can look this stuff up, real stats, all over the place, CDC's website, statistics, National Highway, FBI, they all have these databases that are open for anyone to actually go on and look this stuff up and find. But I was going through it, and, just because I'm tired of hearing them complain about it and just screw people, if it's really about gun violence, then why are some of the strictest places, when it comes to gun laws? Chicago, for example? Why has that place been, the murder and shooting capital of the country for this long? All these extra, they're going to do is it's just going to take guns. Certain type of gun out of law-abiding citizens' hands. And criminals are going to keep doing whatever the hell they want. Historically proven. Can't really correct me if I'm wrong there. Because I'm not. doesn't take a PhD to figure out that all it does by infringing our rights is making it easier for people that are going to get the things and use them against people, innocent people, regardless. Or, sadly, let's go to Christmas in Nashville. Boom, bomb, V-bit. And even if they can't get guns, they're gonna do. Crazy people do crazy things. I mean, I thought, that was a common thing, but the Democrats, they don't care. But these are all 2019 numbers, by the way, because they don't have. I wasn't going to put anything out for 2020 until it's all official and posted and the year's actually over, just so no one can go back and say you're off by this many, because that's what people do. But funny thing, 2019, murders with firearms. I have the list of murders altogether, but by firearms, handguns were 6,368 of them. So almost 6,400 of them were handguns. Not any assault type weapon, not anything, these crazy things that they're trying to get out of people's hands, but handguns. Which most people can go and buy. Depending on what state you're in, there's different laws, applications, permits. Every state's different. It all depends on your local level. Just under 6,400 were handguns. Had nothing to do with all these weapons they're trying to get rid of for so long that are so dangerous. But firearms that they're not stated, which still could be handguns, but it's not stated what it was. There's almost 3,300. Rifles were 364. Shotguns were 200. And other guns, whatever that means, were at 45. So even if you added all of them up, and some of them could very well be handguns, as in, other or firearms not stated. So it could be a handgun doing it too. But, when one's almost at 6,400, and then all the other ones combined don't even make it to 3,900, there's a very large discrepancy. It has nothing to do with guns. It's just trying to take those away from law-abiding people and infringe upon their rights. And again, there's idiots out there. Lots of idiots. Sadly. We've seen that. Especially this year. Actually believe they're doing it because they care about people. But there's been a lot of bigger issues that hit close to home with a lot of us, even more. Gun violence and stuff like that. There's a lot of crazy stuff that if they cared, they would actually try to, maybe it's just me, I don't think they're honestly doing anything. For most of it, they never seem to do. They say, whoever's trying to do it isn't doing enough. And then, well, that's about it. They like to point fingers and say you aren't doing enough, but they don't really do anything. Except, try to make it so they can take away your assault-style weapons and this and that and this and that. Make it so you could sue gun manufacturers. Someone dies in a crime related to a gun. They get murdered by a gun. They're trying to make it so you could sue the gun manufacturers. Which, again, is another cute way for them to try to pass it so they can get rid of them altogether. So you could sue them. But, here's some good numbers. This is all, again, 2019. Look it up yourself. I could send you all the stuff I found if you want after you watch it. No problem doing that. But, if they really cared, drunk drivers in the National Highway. Safety. People. Almost 10,000 people were killed in drunk driver-related incidents. Which, the number is roughly around 300. Less people got killed by drunk drivers than by guns altogether. That's something that should be taken care about. Or however you say that, should be taken care of. That's a real thing. But they're not trying to go after distilleries, vineyards, wineries, breweries, any of those, car manufacturers, because, it's just like the gun. The gun just happened to be used. The person doing it, so we can go after them because someone uses a gun in a crime, that what stops them from going after, car manufacturers and all those, distilleries and all them. With that stuff, the person chose to do the dumb things and then get behind the wheel, just like the person chooses to pick up the gun and do dumb things. But they're not ever trying to fix that problem or go after them because it's not in their agenda. Never has been. At least in my humble opinion. It's always gun, 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 gun. Or, here's a big one. Overdoses. Just deaths. Not talking about people who got back. They're 20 shy of 71,000 in 2019. There's something they should actually try to figure out, because that's been a problem for you now. Forever. I know a whole generation, pretty much in my hometown, gone. Wiped out. Heroin, amongst other things. Just gone. Lots of them. Too many to even count. Too many to mention. I do miss Brandon dearly, but it happened. And of those just under 71,000, just a little over 50,000 of them were overdoses related to opiates. Again, yeah, I'm not trying to say anything, but opiates, painkillers, amongst other things, Like, you don't see them trying to go after those people that give them all that money, lobbyists give them millions of dollars a year, not billions. So, they don't make any legislation, so people can start suing them for all these things that they knew you could get hooked on and cause all these problems. Like, they knew it. They can't say they didn't. Not rocket science. They do enough studying and, research, test up, like all that on people. Now they see what all the side effects this, that, and the other are. They were telling people they weren't. Look at all the people that, hell, 10,000 more people, just under, died just from overdoses involving opiates than by guns altogether. Roughly the same between drunk drivers and guns. And for throwing all overdoses, roughly 7 times? Just under 7 times as many people died from that by guns, but never hear them, really mentioning it. I don't. Maybe because I don't watch the news as much, but I don't ever. And this has been, a problem. I can go back all the way to 2016. The number is, better in 2019. 2016 drunk driver deaths were at just 10,500. 2017, it was just under 11,000. 2018, it dropped down to 10,500. So then 2019, yes, it was still lower by 568, which is great. It's going down, but you don't see them trying to do anything to put all those people out of business, even though they're causing just as many deaths as the gun thing. You don't even see them mention it at all, because that's not their thing. They've been trying to go after this stuff for forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I'm sure there's gun owners. I'm not. Ex-wife wouldn't let me get anywhere near them. Still had other people come to the house, but I wasn't allowed to have any personally. But I know many, many gun owners. And a lot of them, hey, they've been going after it for forever. Like it's not a secret. I don't know why people think it's a secret. They think, all the idiots on that side think that's all it's for the good of people. Why? There's things that kill a lot more people. We're not going after those things. No, it's just always guns. This is just the new way. Their newest ploy to try to get rid of what they don't want. And criminals are still going to get them. It's just going to hurt law-abiding, normal citizens just trying to have these to defend themselves. No matter what, you can't keep it out of the hands of all the crazies. It's not going to happen. Again, other things. Like veterans, we all know the average. 22 a day. Probably a little over right now. Since all the shutdowns, lockdowns, and isolation, and all that crazy stuff started, which isn't good for any of them. All the people that have all those bad, they got demons. Stuck sitting around by yourself, it just leads to bad things. Just like you see people like teen overdoses are going up. I think they had more people die in California by overdoses than they did COVID over the last couple weeks. These are real things that are getting caused by all this. And locking people up, numbers are still going up. So why do it? Let people get back out there. So, 2018 we had over 48,000 suicides. That doesn't include attempts. It doesn't include any of that. That's just people that actually died by suicide. There's over 48,000. 2018. And that's a lot of people. If they're on my and try to save that, stop that from happening, because that's at a cyclic rate compared to anything else. Between 2008 and 2017, we lost over 60,000 veterans to suicide, which means this has been a problem. The numbers for suicide everywhere, are that big, but they never ever throw anything at it. It's just always guns, 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 guns. Go back to Obama and Biden. That's all they talked about was guns, 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 guns. That's all they ever covered. Like Biden, you know, we're going to buy back, tax you to death. We're going to try out like that. You could fire, you know, you could sue gun manufacturers. They don't try to fix any of the actual problems that are just killing way, way more people. Granted, I mean, guns, I mean, there's a lot of death. I'm not trying to say there isn't. I'm not trying to start that war. I don't want to start that war. It's not worth it. But most of this stuff involves criminals who are going to have them anyway. They're not supposed to have them in the first place. Like, if you can't figure that out, there's got to be something wrong in your head. Criminals are going to do criminal things regardless of what you, like, hold us to. Like, this is just a ploy to get rid of it, to give them more power, because, well, we won't have, we'll have less. Like, that's why the Second Amendment was put in there. I mean, people seem to forget that. Yeah, a lot of people seem to forget that they, you know, took an oath, you know. Put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, repeat after me. Now, apparently a lot of people seem to forget that, you know, they did that, but yet all they keep trying to do, especially this year, just because we have COVID, so there's lockdowns, it's just infringe upon all of your damn rights. And it's really, really scary that many people can't, like, pick up, like, I don't know, Constitution, Bill of Rights, Declaration. I mean, you can get them on Amazon for like $4 or $5. And actually read the damn thing. Know that all of us aren't being, you know, crazy, crazy people. And I might be crazy, but I actually know what's in this thing. You know, which is how I know all of this that's going on is completely cockamamie. There's a good one. Like, they're really, like, all the shutdowns are just a power grab, trying to take, you know, do this to the gun manufacturers is their way to, you know, sue them, and everything else is the way to finally get rid of them, because that's all they've been doing, which is, you know, for decades, the Democrats, which is another power play. That's all they ever do. And I don't know, maybe here to try to educate people. I mean, no matter what side you're on, apparently, no matter how much you give people, like, laws and facts, it's not going to change anyone's mind. Which is pathetic, kind of terrifying, because, I mean, we should all be able to read. I mean, I know the dumbification of America started a long time ago, but, I mean, I could see what people wouldn't know things decades ago. When the internet is there. This. All that chicken scratch. Did it, in, you know, to include writing down, dealing with the dogs. Took me maybe an hour. I include, you know, dogs, dishes, writing it, looking it up. I mean, it's like, it's not that hard to find this stuff. And I really just wish people would. Because it's out there. And it's really, really, really easy to find. There's much bigger problems that have been here for a very long time. Again, like veteran suicides, drunk driving, opiates, you know, that thing has been killing people at a cyclic rate for well over a decade. I mean, it has. I know we've all been touched by that in some way. There's a friend, family member. Yeah, I mean, there's bigger things that they could worry about, but they just don't ever give a damn. They put it all on. It's all guns' fault. We need to worry about getting rid of them. And get rid of them altogether, which is their now plan. So, yeah. All this is educational. Like, share, reply, tell me anything, message me. Do whatever you, I mean, start, you know, conversation. I mean, you could think I'm crazy, you could think I'm wrong, I don't know, you could think I'm right. But we need to start a real education, you know, just get it, like, to prove, like, just educate people, because there are so many people that have no idea about any of this. And I know we all used to get taught stuff like this, well, I don't know what happened, but this all, you know, this could be a very easy thing. It's education purposes. But I'll leave it at that. I'm getting ready to start the Rumble page and put it on Parler and YouTube. I have it here on Facebook. I'm not going to put it on Twitter, because screw them. And if you have anything else you want to talk about when I do it again, do this again. But until then, keep it weird and try to, educate as many people as you can. And have a good, safe New Year. Peace.